I've had the same view about this issue for the last 18 months. I haven't changed what I thought from start to finish. Very interested to hear that I am one of the guerrilla conservatives. That's my mum would love to hear that about me. That says everything. There's not much I'm going to say that hasn't been said already, but that is what it's all about here. The people in Twickenham, our town where we live, they don't want what the council are proposing. My job is conservation. I run a conservation organisation and I try and protect habitats around the world. Yet here on my doorstep, in the place I've lived for 20 years, in one of the most wonderful parts of Twickenham, and let's face it, Twickenham needs some help, especially in the town centre. We're proposing turning a part of that riverside into houses for the dubious reward of a river centre building that nobody knows very much about, except that it's going to be expensive. There's a business plan we don't really understand to run restaurants and services out of it that don't really make a great deal of sense. And if it doesn't work, potentially that's going to revert back to council offices. Now that for me is an enormous concern. Don't get me wrong, I think I work in marine conservation. I think a river centre might be a marvellous thing. I'd love to look at that as a standalone proposal, but we must not confuse that with selling some of our land to developers. It's crazy. We must stop, we must say no. We are saying no, and perhaps this should be turned round that way, because he doesn't seem to get this. We must change what we're doing. The site is... There's been arguments about whether it's a community space or a public space. It's clearly a community space. There was a bathing baths on there. It's community space. It's nonsense to find reasons in documents to suggest otherwise. That's what it is. It's going to be taken away from us. Now, I think that is completely unacceptable, and we must defend it. I persuade people the world over to defend environments and habitats. We can do it. Change can happen. We can stop people destroying things if we unite and work together. I've touched on that point. Okay, the river centre. We've got so wrapped up in this river centre and the need for it, it's confused the issue so much. All sorts of options have come to us. There's potential for sponsorship for it, external sponsorship. I've spoken to people in Ecotricity. All sorts of options exist, none of which have been explored by the council, and I've had no answer as to why they haven't been explored. Potentially there could be money in council funds to do it. A lot of other projects that are very questionable get done. Why don't we put that forward as a proposal? Well, the answer is that, and it was touched very loosely, it's about this overage. And it is very clearly a way for the council to get more money by upselling on that development as it goes through. And I think the Riverside is something of a smoke screen to allow that to go through. That's it. The community price is too high. If the river centre is there, and if it does work, is that price worth paying? Is it worth paying the price of losing the rest of that site to private residential housing? For me, absolutely not. It's absolutely not worth that price. I think I'm going to finish off because I know there's going to be a lot of questions. And really, something my boss said to me, it's a quote of his, which is about the perception of lost causes. And I think that for some people it's beginning to seem that perhaps this might be a lost cause. Well, my boss said that lost causes are the only causes worth fighting for, and I suggest we continue to fight, because change can happen.